This video is going to look at the calendar on an iOS device. So the same calendar app can be used on an iPad or an iPhone or iPod Touch or any Mac computer, and they can all be synchronized through iCloud, so they're always up to date. The app we're using is the calendar app, and I'm going to demonstrate this on an iPad, but we're also going to look at iCloud and how it works in iCloud. There are some settings before you actually start to look at the calendar that you need to consider. So in the settings, there is a mail contacts calendar section, and uh, in the top section are all my different mail accounts, and the only mail account that has the calendar in it is iCloud, because I'm synchronizing all of my calendars and my contacts to iCloud. I could turn on Gmail and turn on the calendars there, and then I could set up a Google Calendar and it would appear on my Calendars app, but that's sort of duplicating things for me. So all the other mail accounts do not have a calendar turned on. You keep going towards the bottom is the actual calendars settings, and there are some things that you need to change in there. So what's going to be your default calendar if you have multiple calendars? Every time I put a new event in, I want it to go to my home calendar, which is where all my daily uh, events go. Default alert times. So, for example, when I set up a birthdays calendar and put all the family's birthdays in there, then I'd like to be reminded at least a week before so I can remember. And there's all different settings there, but you're putting in some default times here. Time zone support, so you can change your time zone. So there's just a few things there. The other setting is to look at settings sounds, and you have a calendar alert sound, so you need to pick from one of the alert tones that you want. I've picked tritone, so when that sound comes in, I know there's a calendar alert. So they're the only settings you need to consider. Let's open the calendar, close that down, and there are a number of views that you can look your calendar at. This is April, and we're looking at the month view, and it has the current day highlighted so you know where you are. I like the month view because you can see everything quite quickly in what's happening in that month, where your free weeks are, and your free days are. And you also see the first few days of the following month and the previous month. So we've got the 31st of March there, and then we've got the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th of May. This is the day view, so you can see your day in a much more specific view. The week view, so again, more specific, and the year, which is good for looking for when there are free weeks. So if you're planning some holiday or you want to look at something quickly, the year view, and then you have a list view, which looks at your month and lists all the different events going through the different weeks. And you can put some notes in. So I haven't used that one. I tend to use the month. I quite like that one. Now to add an event, number of ways to do it. If we're in the month view, I can tap the plus on the bottom right there, and that will bring up the add event dialog box. Closing the keyboard, because the keyboard will come up immediately. Hide the keyboard will show you all the different things that you can fill in. So we'll cancel that one. That's one way to add an event. Another way is just to do it on the today one. Hold your finger down slightly and you get new events. And again, hide the keyboard. You can see all the different things that you're going to have to add. In the day view, if you wanted to add an event, I can just sort of hold my finger where I want it to go and let go. And there are some little yellow dots there, so if I wanted to make that a bit bigger, I could just drag it down. I can see the actual, do it again. You can move it so you can see where it's going. So if it wanted to be at 5:15, I could drop it there. Then maybe make it a bit bigger. And I have to do done before that will stick. Then I can go in and edit it. So you can do that in the day view. In the week view, holding it down also. You can see on the left there the time is moving, so I can drag and add an event in the week view, in the day view. But let's put one in the month view. So if I want to delete it, tap on that, edit it, delete that event. I didn't want that one either, just tap on it and delete it. Let's go back to the month and any other tests that are there. There's another one that shouldn't be there. I'm going to delete that one as well. And add a new event in. So let's put one in today. So just holding my finger down and call it test event and location. And immediately it believes that it's a whole day event because it starts on the 5th of April and it ends on the 5th of April. So if I want to make that just a 2-hour thing, I have to tap into that and turn off all day, which now brings up the times. And it starts at 4, and you can see the box there is in the highlighted blue. It starts there at 4. We tap in the end box and it ends at 6 p.m. and done. So they've now changed, and you can see it still hasn't changed over in the actual day until we actually tap done and all the information's in. It still says new event. You've got other options to fill in. Is this an event that will repeat every day, every month, every year? So let's say it is a recurring event and it's going to happen every week, and do done. When will it end, that weekly event? So it starts today on the 4th at 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. and I want it to end on the 3rd of May, so that it will run for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks. So it's going to end repeat. When do I want it to end? On the 3rd of May 2013. Done. And as soon as I hit the done to enter all that information, every week on that Friday there'll be a test event come up. We'll look at that in a minute. I can invite people to attend that event or to remind them of that event. So just by hitting the plus, I can add somebody in from my contacts, and it'll send them an email telling them of that event or inviting them to that event. If I don't have anything in the contacts, I can just type something in and that'll bring up the contacts, or I can type a new address. So you can invite people to the event. How do you want to be alerted? Do you want to be alerted at all? Because if you don't, you can just tap none. If it's something that you're going to remember, you don't want to have an alert come through in your notifications. I like to be notified the day before, so I'm picking that. Then you have the chance of a second alert. So the day before, I'll get a message in the notification center on the screen of the iPad or the phone or the computer, reminding me that it's going to happen tomorrow. And then I might want another one, which is, say, 30 minutes before, just in case I forget. So I can have 2 alerts. What calendar do I want this to be published in? So I've got multiple calendars, and we'll look at how to do that shortly. I want this to be published in my home calendar, the main daily calendar, and done for that. And availability, I am busy, so I don't want anything else being able to use this time, because I want to put myself down as unavailable. I'm busy, and done. You can also put some notes in if you wanted to remind yourself what the event was. So maybe we're watching TV every Friday or something, whatever it is. And a URL if it's a website, so you can add more information into the notes. And then when you're finally finished, done, which is going to enter that event in. And if you notice here that every Friday the test event has been entered in up to the 3rd of May. So if we looked at the May calendar, the 3rd of May is the last event, and there's nothing down there for the 10th or the 17th, etc. It's all finished. To edit something, you simply tap it and hit the edit button, and you can sort of see the basics there. That's why the notes is good, because you can actually comes up in the summary. You can edit, and I can delete the event if I want to, or I can change some of the alerts or whatever I want to change. If I want to delete it, because it's a recurring, repeating event, it's giving me the opportunity to delete all future events. So everything from the 12th So the 19th, the 26th, and the 3rd, I can get rid of them all and just keep today. Or I can just delete it for the 12th of April because I can't do it that one. So that one's gone, but everything else is still there. So editing is simple. Tap the event, hit the edit button, and you can change or delete whatever you like. If you look at the calendar, there are different colours there. There's some that's in a green. Term 2 begins is a green colour. And then all the other ones there are yellow because they're sort of the daily things that happen. So if there was any like school holidays, I could have put all those in and blocked out a lot of time. But I need to do that in multiple calendars. There is a calendar button. Go back to April. Calendars button up the top there where you can enter all that information. So I can hide all the calendars. And because my calendars are all synchronized from iCloud and they all begin and emanate from iCloud, they're all listed under there. But you can put your public holidays in and edit existing calendars. So let's just add a new one. I wanted to add a new calendar, say a birthdays calendar for all the family's birthdays. Let's just do done there. Edit, and I want to add a calendar. And I want this one to be in purple. So I can assign a colour. I didn't give it a name. It's going to be called birthdays. So delete that, birthdays, and done. So to enter a birthday, so let's put in here, new event, and it's going to be Mum's birthday. And I could put a location in if I wanted to, or I could leave that blank. And it's a whole day thing, but if I block out that whole day, then nothing else can be entered for that day. So for things that are a whole day, but I just want to be reminded of them, I usually turn that off and start them at maybe 7 a.m. and ends at 8 a.m. just so that it appears at the top of the day. It's a birthday, so I want it to repeat every year. Done. So that next time when the calendars roll over and I still have the birthdays calendar, those birthdays will still be occurring. I don't want it to end repeat, and I'd like the alert the day before. So you want to have it the week before or 2 days before, and maybe another alert for 1 day before. I want it to go into the birthdays calendar, so you select there which calendar do you want it to go into, and done. And now that event will appear at 7 a.m. and then if there's anything else that comes in on that day, I can still enter it in. So if I was to go to iCloud.com, and iCloud.com is where you will be able to look at your mail, your contacts, your calendar. I let iCloud.com manage my calendar. So if something doesn't look right on the iPad, there's duplicates or something's happened, I can turn it off on the iPad and let iCloud synchronize it back down. Let's just see if it's got it there. The birthdays calendar is there. It's been synchronized up to that. Mum's birthday is there. So it's all up there. If I wanted to add a new one, I could actually manage and enter all the calendar information from here. So if I'm on the road somewhere and I don't have any of my devices, but I've got access to a computer, I can log into iCloud.com and I can see my calendar and I can make changes to it. Now from the iCloud.com, I can add events and they will be synchronized almost instantaneously to any other device like an iPad or an iPhone or another Mac that is running iCloud and has calendars turned on. So if I click it here and do a new event and call it my birthday. and it's we'll go again from the AM, 7 AM to 8 AM. Don't want to repeat it. An alert and a day before on data. If you get a few more selections and options in the iCloud one, it's going into the birthdays calendar. Not adding anything into it. It's going on into this date here. So okay, 18th of April, and there's the iPad there. It's synchronizing now, and it's there quite, it's almost within a couple of seconds. So anything you do on any device will be synchronized amongst all devices that are using iCloud. In the iCloud.com, you have a settings where you can actually set up some preferences for how you want your calendar to appear, adding default alerts and scheduling default calendars. So there are different settings on uh, each device. There was an advanced there, actually. What's in the advanced? Old events and time zones. So enabling time zones would help you if you're looking at events from overseas and want them to be displayed in time that was meaningful to you. You can also share a calendar. So in every one of these, I can share it privately. So any iCloud member that I want to be able to view this calendar or edit this calendar, I can add that person's email address and they can also share this. I can make it public and allow anyone to subscribe to a read-only version of that. And I can do that also on the iPad. Let's just go back to that and do it on the iPad. So if I wanted to make my calendar public, so going back to calendars, and I'm hiding all the calendars, and I just want to keep uh, the birthdays one open. And I want to make that public so that anyone I send the link to can see that calendar and subscribe to it so they know when all the birthdays are. So in the arrow, I can make that turn public calendar on, publish it, and share the link. And I might mail the link. And there's the link to subscribe to my birthdays calendar. Let's just send it to myself. Let's see what happens. Different mail address, that's life. And send that link. It's gone, emailed. And so let's go back to the mail and into the account that's got the link. And there's the message, subscribe to my birthdays calendar. So if I click on that, I can now subscribe to the birthdays calendar. So that's going to appear in my calendar to say that I was somebody else. If I go back to, it's been added, so done. I want to view the event, so I can go back into my calendar. So I pretend it's not me. And there's a subscribe one there. A subscribed calendar comes up so that I can actually look at that calendar. And it's come up twice on here, so I've got them in different colours because I'm subscribing essentially to my own calendar. But that's why there's two there. But I have now subscribed to that calendar. I can change the colour. I want that to be brown. Change the calendar for that. To see the subscribed calendars, if I go into my settings, if I wanted to delete that subscribed calendar, I'm going to mail contacts. And there's the subscribed one there, subscribed calendar. I no longer want to be subscribed to that calendar. I can delete that account. And done. And so when I go back to my calendar, there will only be one entry. But you can do that. So that calendar is now public, so I really need to make it private again, turn it off. So if you wanted to share them, that's how you would do it.